Hi, welcome. My name is Dawn. Today I'm going to be making a zucchini noodle chicken basil dinner and using a lot of stuff that I get from my garden. So I'm going to take my mandolin, and I have a couple zucchinis here. I think I might just use the big one. I think this will be plenty. So we'll take the zucchini and make zucchini noodles. I'll show you how that's done, and then I'll walk you through the other steps. We're going to do grilled chicken. You can also substitute the chicken for shrimp or salmon, or if you don't want any meat at all, it's fine without the meat. So let's get started. All right, so I got my mandolin out. Make sure you wear a glove, but I'm going to have Tom do this, so he's going to be grating up my zucchini. And with the mandolin, you have to set the setting. It has these blades, and it will slice perfect noodles for your zucchini. So I'll get Tom started on this. One second. Let me lift this up. So Tom's done cutting up the zucchini noodles, and they come out nice and fine like this. And now I have all the seeds. We're just going to throw this away or give it to the goats. So I'll put this aside. Now this step is important if you don't want a lot of liquid in your dinner. You take salt and you sprinkle it on the zucchini noodles, mix it around. And this is going to release all the moisture in the zucchini. Otherwise, it will release all the moisture in your food when you're cooking it. So you do this step, and you'll have a nice, dry zucchini noodle when you cook it. Do that. Now I just leave this, and you sit this for about 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And all the moisture will come out and just drain onto my sheet pan. So we're going to move this aside, and then I'll start the next step. So next step, I'm going to get all my ingredients ready for my pesto. I'm going to get my basil. I picked from the garden this morning. I have a jar of almonds. I use that instead of the pine nuts, and they're good toasted. So I'm going to have Tom toast this since he's going to be grilling the chicken that's going to go in this dish also. All right, so I got all the ingredients for the pesto. I have basil from the garden. I have in this cup half a cup of olive oil. I'm probably not going to use all that. I'm probably going to use a quarter of a cup, depending on how thick I want the pesto. I have a little salt and pepper, teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper. I have a tablespoon of lemon juice. I have a quarter cup of toasted almonds and a quarter cup of Parmesan cheese. So, and garlic, fresh garlic. I'm going to put 2 cloves of garlic in there chopped up. So first I put the almonds and the cheese. Blend that all together. I use my stick blender. Okay, next I add my 2 cloves of garlic. This way. So I got my garlic. Pour half of my olive oil in there. Salt and pepper. Lemon juice. Now the basil, I'm putting about 2 cups, but of packed basil. I do little bits at a time. Definitely want a little more olive oil. And the rest of my basil. There's a close-up of what it looks like. I wanted this a little more on the wet side since it is going over my zucchini noodles. So that's perfect. Okay, so the zucchini noodles have been sitting for 30 minutes. I don't know if you can see how much liquid came out of the zucchini noodles. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just squeeze out the noodles just a little bit more. Not too hard because you don't want to smash the noodles up. And just put it in my bowl. So I used a large zucchini. If you don't have a large zucchini, probably be about 3 small to medium zucchinis, depending on how much you want. But see, this is why this is an important step. There's so much moisture in these. And you don't want to be eating soup for dinner. So I have my chicken right here. I'm doing 2 chicken thighs. And Tom's gonna grill these. You can use chicken breasts, chicken thighs, you can use shrimp, you can use whatever you want, salmon, or no chicken at all. So I'm putting a seasoning on here. This is my all-purpose seasoning. I make this up and put it in my bottle. There's 8 spices in here. It's my go-to spice, and plus a little extra garlic. All right, so that's that. So my dinner is going to consist of zucchini noodles, or Zoodles, which everybody calls them. And I have all kinds of peppers. I have regular bell peppers, sweet fine peppers, Hungarian wax peppers. I'm going to put broccoli in here, cherry tomatoes. Now you can either use Swiss chard or spinach, but it's summertime, so spinach doesn't grow in the summer. So I use Swiss chard and spinach the same. The leaves, when you cook them, taste exactly the same to me. And onions from the garden. And you can add anything else you like, or take out what you don't like. I was going to put mushrooms in here, but I have enough stuff in here, so I'm not going to do my mushrooms. So I thought I would make it a garden dinner. So everything's from the garden, basically. And Tom's going to grill the chicken, like I said. That's going to go on top. And so I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, so I didn't want to bore you with cutting everything up. I chopped up all my cherry tomatoes in half, my Swiss chard. I got my 3 types of peppers all cut up, my onions, which I had in the fridge because you see my eyes all red. I cry so much every time I cut onions. And my Zoodles. And I have my broccoli in a steamer. They're starting to steam right now. So those I'm cooking separately, and we'll add it to the dish right at the end. And also at the end, I don't know if you've ever seen my garden tours, but this year I planted a cherry tomato that is called Spoon. And you can eat them with a spoon. I think I'm gonna just, since I have these and it's not much use for them, I'm gonna put them in my food. All right, so I got everything here. Let me get my frying pan. We'll start frying everything up. Tom took the chicken outside the grill. All right, so today I'm going to be using avocado oil, or you could use olive oil, whichever you prefer. So that's what I'm using today. About 2 tablespoons. And like I said, I'm going to do my peppers and onions on a medium heat. Saute them till they start to get soft. They'll take about 5 minutes to get soft. Once they start getting soft, then I will add my Zoodles. And the Swiss chard or spinach only takes a couple seconds, a minute or 2. So you want to put that in at the very end because you don't want that to just shrivel up into nothing. And especially the tomatoes, you don't want to put them in too early because they will just turn to mush. I like them nice and firm and tasting like a tomato. So I put them in at the very end when I'm about to take it off, just to toss it, just to get a little warmth in there. And at the very end, right before the tomatoes, I will add my pesto to make a nice pesto sauce. So we'll get on this and get this cooking. I'll be right back. So also this is going to get some fresh garlic. So I have my garlic press, and I'll just press some, probably 1 large clove or 2 smaller cloves. Salt and pepper to taste at the end. And this probably will not need any salt at all because I already salted the zoodles. All right, that's looking good. I do like to use different colored peppers and different colored vegetables when I'm cooking. Not only does it taste good, it looks very nice. And I do cook my vegetables until they're a little softer. Some people like them nice and crisp. Tom and I both like them soft. Okay, this is starting to get soft, so it's now time to put the zoodles in. So that's been cooking for about 5 minutes. I'm going to now add my garlic. And you can see down in here that it's nice and dry. So we don't have any of that liquid from the zucchini in here. It smells good. In fact, it might need a little drizzle of oil just to infuse that garlic. Nice. Now my Swiss chard. That was about a 1/2 cup of Swiss chard. Mix it all together. And to this dish, I'm going to be adding a little extra almonds also. Time to put the pesto in. Start with that. That's about 4 tablespoons of pesto. I'll blend that all together. You can add as much or as little as you want. I'll add just a little bit more. All right, so that was 5 tablespoons. Let that all incorporate with the zoodles. Soak it in nice. Get the broccoli. Have my steamer over here. And see, I like it so it's just fork tender. Throw that in there. Now for my tomatoes, because this is basically done. And there's my little spoon tomatoes. Look how colorful it is. It is done. Nice. So Tom just brought the grilled chicken in. Looks awesome. I will let this rest for 5 minutes before we plate that up. All right, time for a taste test. I don't think I need pepper either. I think that's perfect. So now we're just waiting for the chicken to rest and we will plate that up. It was nice and juicy. Looks scrumptious. Then sprinkle with a little bit more almonds. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to call this. We've had it before. It's delicious. And you can use basically whatever you want. But it is the zucchini noodles, zoodles, with pesto and garden vegetables, topped with grilled chicken. And now it's time for the taste test. Let me get a knife. Really good. And Tom did chicken perfect, so juicy. So this is a very friendly keto dish. It's awesome if you're cutting down on carbs, and even if you're not. When you have so many zucchinis in your garden and you need something to make with it, this is a nice summery tasting dish. And I want to thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it. Bye-bye.